You're going to die. Not someday, not eventually, not in some distant abstract future. You're going to die, and everyone you love is going to die, and everything you've ever done or will do is going to be forgotten. Your name, your face, your dreams, your struggles, your achievements, gone, erased, meaningless. And here's what's worse. You already know this. Deep down, you've always known. But you wake up anyway, you go to work anyway, you pay your bills, maintain relationships, chase goals, worry about your reputation. You live as if it all matters, as if there's a point, as if you're building towards something. But what if you're not? What if every morning you wake up, every task you complete, every dream you chase, what if it's all just nothing? What if you're a character in a cosmic joke with no punchline? What if the universe looked at you, at all of us, and said, I don't care, you don't matter, nothing you do will ever matter? Would you keep going? Could you? Most people never ask this question. They're too busy, too distracted, too comfortable in their routines. But then one day, maybe today, maybe right now, something breaks. You're sitting at your desk or stuck in traffic or lying awake at 3 in the morning, and a single word crawls into your mind. Why? Why am I doing this? What's the point of any of this? Where is this leading? And once you ask it, once you really ask it, you can't unask it. You can't go back to sleepwalking. You've woken up. And what you've woken up to is terrifying. Welcome to the absurd. Let me be clear about what we mean by absurd. We're not talking about something silly. We're not talking about something ridiculous or comical. We're talking about the fundamental contradiction at the heart of human existence. Here's the truth. You are a conscious being. You are rational. You have the capacity to think, to reason, to question. You have this deep, almost desperate need to understand the world around you. You crave meaning. You need purpose. You want answers. You look at your life and you think, there has to be a reason for this. There has to be a point. There has to be something that makes sense of it all. So you look up at the stars, at the vast, incomprehensible universe that stretches out in all directions, and you ask, why am I here? What is the meaning of life? Is there a purpose to existence? Is there a God? Is there a plan? Is there something beyond this physical reality? Is there justice in the universe? Do my actions matter? Will I be remembered? Does any of this mean anything at all? These aren't trivial questions. These are the deepest questions a human being can ask. And the universe? The universe says nothing. Silence. Complete, total, absolute, indifferent silence. The stars don't answer. The cosmos doesn't care. The void just stares back at you, empty and cold. You scream into the darkness, what does it all mean? And the darkness echoes back, nothing. This is what the French-Algerian philosopher Albert Camus called the absurd. Not the universe itself, not humanity itself, but the collision, the confrontation between our desperate human need for meaning and the cold, irrational, meaningless universe that gives us none. We are meaning-seeking creatures trapped in a meaningless world. We are rational beings trying to make sense of an irrational existence. We are conscious minds demanding answers from an unconscious cosmos. That gap, that unbridgeable chasm between what we need and what we get, that's the absurd. And Camus looked at this without blinking. He looked at existence without comfort, without reassurance, without easy answers. And what he saw was brutal. Life has no inherent meaning. There's no cosmic purpose written into the fabric of reality. There's no universal values etched into the stars. There's no ultimate justice. There's no grand narrative. Everything that happens, your birth, your suffering, your joy, your struggles, your achievements, your love, your loss, your death, all of it is fundamentally random. You didn't choose to be born. You didn't choose where or when or to whom. You didn't choose your genetics, your brain chemistry, your initial circumstances. And yet here you are, thrown into existence without your consent, forced to make sense of a life you never asked for. You are in the most literal sense a cosmic accident, a primate on a rock, a biological organism that evolved over millions of years through random mutations and natural selection, a collection of atoms and molecules that somehow became conscious enough to ask questions about its own existence. You live on a planet that's spinning through an infinite void, a planet that's orbiting an average star in an average galaxy in a universe that contains billions of other galaxies, most of which we'll never see, most of which don't even know we exist. In 100 years, you'll be dead. Everyone who knew you will be dead. Your name will be forgotten, your achievements will be irrelevant, your struggles will be meaningless. In a few thousand years, human civilization as we know it might not even exist. In a few billion years, the sun will expand and swallow this planet whole, erasing every trace that humanity ever existed. Nothing you do matters on a cosmic scale. Nothing any of us do matters. Your relationships? Temporary. Your career? Insignificant. Your dreams? Ultimately futile. Your legacy? Eventually dust. The things you worry about, your reputation, your success, your failures, your image, none of it matters. The things you fight for, justice, truth, love, meaning, the universe doesn't care about any of it. Good people suffer, bad people thrive, children die, tyrants live long lives, honest people struggle, while liars succeed. There is no cosmic justice, there is no balance, there is no reason. There is only chaos, random, meaningless, indifferent chaos. And we're all just here pretending it makes sense, pretending there's a point, pretending it all leads somewhere. Now, sit with that for a moment. Really sit with it. Don't run from it, don't rationalize it, don't try to fix it. Just feel the weight of it. The weight of meaninglessness, the weight of cosmic indifference, the weight of your own insignificance. This is the absurd. This is the truth of existence, and most people can't handle it. This confrontation with meaninglessness, this moment of realizing that life is fundamentally absurd, is unbearable for most people. It's too heavy, too dark, too hopeless. So we do what humans have always done when faced with uncomfortable truths. We escape. We run. We hide. We create stories and illusions to shield ourselves from the terrible reality. We perform what Camus called philosophical suicide, the act of abandoning our rationality, our critical thinking, our honest assessment of reality in favor of comforting lies. Look around. Look at the world. Look at the countless ways we try to escape the absurd. Religion tells us there's a God, that the universe has a creator, that there's a divine plan, that everything happens for a reason, that suffering has meaning, that this life is a test, that there's an afterlife waiting, a heaven where the righteous are rewarded, and a hell where the wicked are punished. It gives us a comprehensive answer to every existential question. It provides meaning, purpose, moral guidelines, community, hope. Have faith, it says. Believe even without proof. Take a leap of faith into the arms of God, and all your questions will be answered. All your anxieties will be soothed. The Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard embraced this. He struggled with the absurdity of existence, with the fact that so much of life cannot be rationally explained, and he concluded that we need something outside ourselves to hold on to, something transcendent, something that gives us clarity and guidance in the face of the unknown. For Kierkegaard, that something was God. Faith was the answer. A leap into religious belief was the solution to existential despair. But Camus looked at this and said, no, this is philosophical suicide. This is abandoning truth for comfort. This is choosing to believe in something without proof, without reason, simply because the alternative is too painful. Nationalism tells us that our country is sacred, that dying for our nation gives our life ultimate meaning, that serving the state is the highest calling, that our individual insignificance is overcome by being part of something greater, a people, a culture, a historical mission. The Nazis believed in a master race destined to rule over all others. They found meaning in racial purity, in conquest, in domination. They convinced millions of people that their individual lives had purpose because they were part of this grand historical project. And millions of people killed and died for that belief, for a story, for an illusion. Political ideologies promise us that history has a direction, that we're building toward utopia, that our struggle matters because we're part of a revolutionary movement that will create a better world. Communism promised a classless society. Fascism promised national greatness. Capitalism promises prosperity and freedom. All of them give people a sense of purpose, a sense that their individual lives are part of a larger narrative, a larger meaning. But look at reality. Look at what actually happens. Bad people get away with their crimes. They live comfortable lives. They die peacefully in their sleep, never facing consequences. Good people suffer. They struggle. They work hard and still fail. They do everything right and still lose. Innocent children die of cancer. Natural disasters kill thousands of people at random. Accidents happen, disease happens, violence happens, and it's all random. There's no pattern, there's no justice, there's no cosmic ledger keeping track of good and evil. The universe doesn't care if you're good or bad. It doesn't care if you're honest or deceitful. It doesn't care if you help others or hurt them. The universe doesn't care about you at all. All of these systems, religion, nationalism, ideology, karma, they're all the same thing. Stories we tell ourselves to make the randomness bearable. They're constructs of the human mind. They're illusions we've created to shield ourselves from the absurd. And Camus says this is philosophical suicide. This is setting aside our rationality and choosing to believe in things without proof, without evidence, often in direct contradiction to our own experience. We trade truth for comfort. We trade freedom for certainty. We trade honest confrontation with reality for a reassuring lie. And there's another escape, a more direct one, a more final one: physical suicide. If life is meaningless, if the universe doesn't care, if nothing matters, if we're all going to die anyway, why continue? Why endure the suffering? Why face the struggle? Why keep pushing the boulder up the mountain when we know it's just going to roll back down? Why not just end it? This, Camus said, is the only truly serious philosophical problem, the fundamental question that underlies all others. Should I kill myself, or should I have a cup of coffee? Everything else is secondary. Everything else is trivial compared to this one question. Why shouldn't I just opt out? It's a logical response to the absurd. If life is meaningless, then death is not a loss. If nothing matters, then nothing is worth preserving. If existence is suffering without purpose, then non-existence is preferable. But here's where Camus does something extraordinary. He looks at the absurd, at the meaninglessness, at the indifference, at the hopelessness, and he says, no. Don't escape. Don't kill yourself, not philosophically, not physically. Don't run from the absurd. Revolt against it. This is where Camus becomes radical. This is where he offers something different from every other philosopher who confronted meaninglessness. He doesn't tell you to have faith. He doesn't tell you to create comfortable illusions. He doesn't tell you to end your life. He tells you to rebel. Yes, life is meaningless. Accept that. Yes, the universe is indifferent. Acknowledge that. Yes, we're all going to die and be forgotten. Understand that. But we're still here, right now, in this moment, living, breathing, thinking, feeling. And that matters. Not cosmically, not universally, but to us. We don't need the universe to give us meaning. We don't need God to tell us what matters. We don't need some transcendent purpose handed down from on high. We can create our own meaning. We can decide our own values. We can choose what matters to us. Listen carefully. The absurd doesn't imprison you, it liberates you. When there's no God judging you, you're free to live without guilt or shame. When there's no cosmic rules, you're free to create your own ethics, your own values, your own vision of what a good life looks like. When there's no divine plan, you're free to write your own story. When there's no afterlife, you're free to focus completely on this life, on the here and now, on the actual present moment you're living in. When nothing matters cosmically, everything can matter personally. Think about it. If God exists and has a plan, then you're just playing a role. You're following a script. You're not truly free. You're just a character in someone else's story. But if there's no God, if there's no plan, if it's all random and meaningless, then you're free, truly free. Free to be whatever you want, free to create whatever you want, free to live however you choose. The absence of inherent meaning isn't a curse, it's an opportunity. Camus calls this living without appeal. It means living without hope for some future salvation, without faith in cosmic justice, without belief that it all works out in the end. It means living with full awareness that life is absurd, that nothing is guaranteed, that there's no happy ending waiting for you. And it means being okay with that. More than okay, it means embracing it. Living without appeal means you don't need things to lead somewhere. You don't need your actions to have cosmic significance. You don't need progress towards some ultimate goal. The meaning is in the action itself. The value is in the present moment. The purpose is in the experience. You don't push the boulder up the mountain because you think you'll eventually reach the top. You push it because the pushing itself is what you choose to do. The pushing itself is your rebellion. The pushing itself is your meaning. This is what Camus means by revolt. Not violence, not destruction, but defiance. Defiance in the face of absurdity, defiance in the face of meaninglessness, defiance in the face of death. The universe says, you don't matter, and you say, I matter to myself. The universe says nothing you do means anything, and you say, it means something to me. The universe says, you're going to die and be forgotten, and you say, but I'm alive right now, and right now is all I need. This is the revolt. This is the rebellion. This is freedom. Not escape, not denial, not suicide, but honest confrontation with the absurd, followed by the decision to live anyway, to live fully anyway, to experience everything existence has to offer, knowing full well that it's all temporary, all meaningless, all absurd. To laugh in the face of cosmic indifference, to find joy in a joyless universe, to create beauty in a chaotic world, to love knowing you'll lose, to build knowing it will all crumble, to care knowing it doesn't matter. That's the rebellion. That's the freedom. And Camus gives us the perfect image for this. Sisyphus. In Greek mythology, there was a man named Sisyphus. He was the founder and king of Ephyra, later known as Corinth. He was clever, he was cunning, he was also deceitful and arrogant. Sisyphus thought he could outsmart the gods. He cheated death not once, but twice. He revealed divine secrets. He mocked the gods in their power. And for this, he was punished. The gods condemned him to roll a massive boulder up a steep mountain. Every time he reached the top, just as he was about to succeed, the boulder would roll back down to the bottom. And Sisyphus would have to walk back down and start again. Push the boulder up, watch it roll down, walk down, start over. Again and again and again. Forever. For all eternity, Sisyphus would perform this task, this meaningless, futile, endless labor. The gods thought this was the ultimate punishment. They believed there was nothing more dreadful than useless and hopeless labor, work without purpose, effort without achievement, struggle without progress. They wanted to break him. They wanted him to despair. They wanted him to suffer for all eternity, knowing that his work would never amount to anything, that his effort would never lead anywhere, that his struggle was completely and utterly pointless. But Camus looks at Sisyphus and sees something different. He sees the perfect image of human existence. Think about it. What is Sisyphus's life? What is his existence? Wake up, push the boulder, watch it fall, sleep. Wake up, push the boulder, watch it fall, sleep. Every day the same, every day futile, every day meaningless. Does this sound familiar? You are Sisyphus. Your life is that boulder. You wake up every day and push it up the mountain. You work, you struggle, you strain, you put in effort. And then what? The boulder rolls back down. You go to sleep, you wake up, you push it again. Your job, that's the boulder. You work all day, you complete tasks, you meet deadlines, and tomorrow there will be more tasks, more deadlines. The work never ends. You'll never reach a point where you're done. Your responsibilities, that's the boulder. You pay your bills, you maintain your home, you take care of obligations, and next month there will be more bills, more maintenance, more obligations. Your relationships, even those are the boulder. You have to constantly work at them, constantly maintain them, constantly put in effort. There's no point where a relationship is finished and requires no more work. Even your own body is the boulder. You eat and then you're hungry again, you sleep and then you're tired again, you exercise to stay healthy, but you have to keep exercising. You can never stop pushing. Life is repetition. Life is routine. Life is pushing the boulder up the mountain, watching it roll down, and starting over. There is no summit, there is no final destination, there is no point where you can stop and say, I've made it, I'm done, I've achieved my purpose. Because there is no purpose. There is only the push. The gods designed Sisyphus's punishment to be unbearable. They wanted him to recognize the futility of his labor. They wanted him to despair over the meaninglessness of his existence. They wanted him to break. But here's what Camus asks us to consider. What if Sisyphus doesn't break? What if he doesn't despair? What if he accepts the absurdity of his situation, fully accepts it without illusion, without false hope, and chooses to be happy anyway? What if he looks at that boulder, looks at that mountain, and says, "This is my boulder, this is my mountain, this is my task, and I choose to embrace it"? What if he finds meaning not in reaching the top, but in the push itself? What if the struggle itself is enough? Think about what that would mean. The gods wanted Sisyphus to suffer. They wanted his punishment to be torture. They wanted him to see his labor as meaningless and to despair because of it. But if Sisyphus is happy, if he finds joy in the very thing that's supposed to torture him, then he wins. He robs the punishment of its power. He defeats the gods not by escaping his fate, but by embracing it. He becomes free not by breaking his chains, but by choosing to wear them with pride. His happiness is an act of rebellion. His joy is an act of defiance. His acceptance is an act of revolt. The gods wanted him to scream, "Why me? This is meaningless. This is torture. Let me out." But Sisyphus says, "This is my life. This is what I do, and I choose to do it with joy." Do you understand the power of that? Do you understand the radical freedom in that? The gods, the universe, fate, cosmic indifference, they can take everything from you. They can strip away meaning. They can make your labor futile. They can condemn you to repetition and routine and endless struggle. But there's one thing they can't take: your attitude, your response, your choice to be happy or miserable. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, said, "Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances." Sisyphus has no control over his punishment, but he has complete control over how he responds to it. And so do you. You can't control that you have to work. You can't control that life is repetitive. You can't control that nothing lasts. You can't control that you're going to die. But you can control whether you despair over these facts or embrace them. You can control whether you see your life as a punishment or as an opportunity. You can control whether you push the boulder with resentment or with joy. Camus ends his essay, The Myth of Sisyphus, with one simple line: "One must imagine Sisyphus happy." Not might, not could, not should. Must. We must imagine him happy. Because if Sisyphus can be happy, if a man condemned to eternal futile labor can find joy, then so can we. If he can rebel against meaninglessness by choosing happiness, then so can we. If he can be free in his chains, then so can we. So here we are. Here you are. Awake now, unable to go back to sleep, unable to pretend you don't see the absurdity. The universe is meaningless. Life has no inherent purpose. You're going to die and be forgotten. Nothing you do matters on a cosmic scale. The boulder will always roll back down. This is the truth. This is reality. This is the absurd. And you have a choice. You can escape, you can perform philosophical suicide, choose a comforting belief system, follow a religion, embrace an ideology, tell yourself a story about how it all makes sense. You can escape through physical suicide, decide that if life is meaningless, it's not worth living. Or you can revolt. You can accept the absurd fully, no illusions, no false hope, no denial, and choose to live anyway. You can create your own meaning. You can decide your own values. You can find joy in the struggle itself. You can push the boulder with a smile on your face, knowing full well that it will roll back down, and choosing to push it anyway. Because the meaning isn't in reaching the top, the meaning is in the push. The purpose isn't in some future destination, the purpose is in the present moment. The value isn't in achieving something permanent, the value is in living fully, right now, with awareness and intention and joy. This is your life. This is your boulder. This is your mountain. No one else can push it for you. No one else can tell you what it means. No one else can give you purpose. But you don't need them to. You are free. Radically, completely, terrifyingly free. Free to decide what matters, free to create your own values, free to find beauty in an absurd world, free to love knowing you'll lose, free to build knowing it will crumble, free to care knowing it doesn't matter cosmically. free to be happy in the face of meaninglessness, free to laugh at cosmic indifference, free to live fully in a futile existence. The gods, fate, the universe, death, they can't take that from you. They can condemn you to repetition, but they can't make you despair. They can condemn you to repetition, but they can't rob you of joy. Your happiness is your rebellion. Your joy is your freedom. Your choice to live fully despite the absurd is your victory. One must imagine Sisyphus happy, and you must imagine yourself happy too. Not because life is good, not because there's hope, not because it all works out in the end, but because happiness itself, genuine, present moment, fully aware happiness in the face of absurdity, is the greatest act of rebellion. Because living fully in an absurd world is the highest form of freedom. Because the boulder is yours, the mountain is yours, and the choice, always the choice, is yours. Push the boulder, watch it fall, walk back down, and smile. Because you are Sisyphus, and Sisyphus is happy. If this video made you stop, if something here felt heavy or true, that's not nothing. You being here already matters. Every view keeps this space honest, without easy answers. If you want to help more, share this with someone who carries these questions. Sometimes that goes further than anything else. If this content feels like part of who you are, consider joining as a member. It's not just support, it's belonging. It helps maintain deeper, riskier work. Members get exclusive content and closer access to the process behind these videos. And Super Thanks exists if you ever want to contribute directly. Not an obligation, just a gesture. But if all you do is watch and think, that's enough. That's what matters. This channel doesn't exist for everyone. It exists for those who feel it, for those who can't look away from the absurd, for those who push the boulder anyway.